Hey family, it's Chef Riq, and welcome back to Technique Monday on Unseen Cuisine, Cooking Without Limits. Today we're talking about one of the most common foods on the planet, rice. Now I know what some of you are thinking, Chef, I've been cooking rice my whole life. Maybe you have, but let me ask you this. Have you ever really listened to your rice? Have you ever noticed how the sound changes while it cooks? Have you ever paid attention to the aroma as it absorbs the liquid? Have you ever used touch and texture to tell when it's done? Because rice leaves clues the entire cooking time. And once you learn how to recognize those clues, you'll stop guessing. So, let's get into it. Step 1, get to know your rice. Before the pot, before the water, before the heat, reach into a container and grab a small handful of rice. Go ahead, I'll wait. Let it sit in your palm. Tactile cue. Rub the grains gently between your fingers. Feel their shape. Long grain rice feels different from short grain. Jasmine feels different from arboreal. Every rice has its own personality and its own purpose. Sensory reminder. The better you know the ingredient before cooking, the easier it becomes to understand what's happening during cooking. Step 2. Water starts the conversation. Now, place the rice into your pot. Add the appropriate amount of water, stock, or broth. Audio cue. At this stage, everything sounds loose. The rice moves freely through the liquid. The water does most of the talking. Tactile cue. If you rinsing the rice first, run your fingers through it. Notice how the grains feel slippery as the excess starch washes away. That's one of the reasons rinsed rice often cooks up lighter and less sticky. Step 3. The pot comes alive. Now let's move to the stove. Turn on the heat. Stay nearby. Audio cue. At first you'll hear almost nothing. Then small bubblings begin forming. Soon the pot becomes more active, more energetic. You'll hear a steady bubbling as the liquid heats. Sensory reminder. This is where many cooks walk away. Don't. Stay connected. The rice is about to start telling you what's happening. Step 4. Listen for the change. Now here's one of the most important clues in the rice cooking. Sound changes, audio cues. Early on, the bubbling is active, busy. There's plenty of liquid moving around the pot. But keep listening. Minute by minute, the bubbling becomes softer, quieter, more controlled. What you're hearing is the rice is drinking. It's absorbing the liquid. The amount of free liquid in the pot is decreasing, and your ears can hear that process happening. That's information. That's cooking with your senses. Step 5, check the texture. Now we're getting close. Take a small spoonful and let it cool. Texture. Take a bite. What do you notice? Does the rice still feel firm? Does it have a hard center, or is it becoming tender? Tactile cue. Press a grain gently between your fingers. It should yield easily. Not mushy, not crunchy, comfortable, and tender. That's the clue we're looking for. Step 6. Don't skip the rest. Now, here's where a lot of people make mistakes. The rice is cooked, and they immediately remove the lid. But give it a few minutes. Let it rest. Aroma cue. Take a breath. Notice how the aroma becomes fuller, warmer, more complete. Tactile cue. Now, fluff the rice gently with a fork. You feel that? The grains separate more easy. The texture feels lighter, more balanced. That's why resting matters. Now, think about what you just experienced. You use touch to understand the rice, sound to monitor the absorption, aroma to follow the development, and texture to determine the doneness. That's the Unseen Cuisine Method. You're not watching the rice cook, you're listening to it, you're feeling it, you're understanding it. And here's the takeaway. Rice isn't difficult. It just leaves subtle clues. The sound changes, the texture changes, the aroma changes. The question is, are you paying attention? Because once you learn how to trust those clues, you'll stop depending on that timer and start depending on yourself. Rice may be one of the simplest foods to cook, but it's also one of the best teachers, because if you can learn to listen to rice, you can learn to listen to almost anything in the kitchen. This is Chef Riq, cooking for every sense, confidence for every cook. And I'll see you next Flavor Lab Wednesday.